Today we are going to visit Golestan Palace, which is around 400 years old, and it was actually constructed in Safavid era, but unfortunately the buildings that were built in that time all ruined, and in Qajar era, King Fatali actually made several palaces in this complex, and King Nasir-ad-Din actually did more in building this palace. So it is a very, very beautiful palace, and you can see the mixture of Iranian architecture and art, and also European architecture in this palace, because King Nasir-ad-Din was traveled to Europe, and he was impressed by the European architecture, and when he came back to Iran, he ordered some buildings here, like Shamsul Emare. Shamsul Emare actually, you will see it, has a nice story and very interesting. So now let's just take a look at the garden. It is 50,000 meters. It has a beautiful garden, and some of the trees actually are for 19th century. Now we are in winter time, but you can also see that it is beautiful and green. If you come here in the spring and summer, it is much more beautiful. So around the garden there are several buildings, there are several palaces. And it takes hours to visit all of them, but today, because of a lack of time, we will just visit the main palace, the main section. This palace is located in Grand Bazaar of Tehran. It is almost in the city center. Let's first see the garden and the buildings from outside, then we will go to the main section. In Safavid era, the capital city of Iran was Qazvin. So they actually constructed this palace, but actually not in a very complete form. And they didn't actually stay here for long. Just when they came to Tehran and for recreation, they stayed here. And the buildings that were built in that area actually all got ruined, as I said. But in Qajar area, the capital city of Iran changed to Tehran, and King Fatali actually inhabited here, and this palace became his actually home, and where he actually stayed, and also some ceremonies and celebration were all held in this palace. And from that time, they actually built more buildings. You can see beautiful paintings on the wall. Okay, let's enter the palace. Amazing. So beautiful. Section is the main palace of the complex, and it was made by King Nasruddin. It is 160 years old, and he used to use this part of the complex for his formal meetings. And in Pahlavi era, Reza Khan, the first Pahlavi king, and his son Muhammad Reza, the celebration of their kingdom actually were both held in this palace. All the things in this building are all gifted by politicians from all over the world, and except that one which is in front of us. Yes, you can see the statue or the maquette of King Nasruddin on it. That one is actually fake. That's the maquette, and the original one is held in Jewelry Museum of Tehran. You know that King Nasruddin used to stay here. King Nasruddin and Fatali King used to live in this complex. And but in Pahlavi era, Reza Khan, the first Pahlavi king, built Saadabad palace and lived in Saadabad, and his son built Niavaran Palace and actually lived in Niavaran Palace. But they used here for their guests when politicians, foreign politicians came to Iran. They stayed in this complex. Wow. So beautiful. These paintings are painted by Kamal al-Mulk, who was a very famous painter, Iranian painter, and they are very, very valuable. And these clocks all were gifted by Elizabeth, the England Queen, to King Nasruddin. You can see several clocks here, which are all from her. This room was King Nasruddin's office room. The previous one actually was used for their meetings, their formal meetings, as I said. And this one was his office room. Very beautiful. And this room was for welcoming their guests. Their guests used to stay here. Instead of these lamps, in that time there were candles. They worked with candles. And here is the museum of the complex. These all are gifts that were presented by the foreign politicians to Qajar kings. So they have gathered all of them from different palaces. These were gifted by the third Napoleon to King Nasruddin. And there are, the pictures actually show the wars from Napoleon Bonaparte. Let's see it from close.